I fix cars, I hunt rattlesnakes, I watch shooting stars, I drink bourbon.
I'm just an ordinary pulsating inconvenience.
I fix...
Greetings. I am Lydia Sandler of Earth. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Sweet Pea. I've been thinking about that alleged meteor that came to Earth. I have reason to believe that there's more to it than meets the eye. Would you do an old man a favor and go have a look? I'll be in the observatory.
Hi, Jim. Howdy, sis. Guess what? New Zealand is having the best conditions for Aurora Borealis in over a century. Neat, huh? According to the French researchers Laplome and Vernier, a germanium-based life form could ingest only radioactive isotopes, and openings in its dermal layer could only be patched with sulfurized liquefied rubber. Radioactive isotopes would be food to a germanium-based life form. You'll never be able to get any, though. The only isotopes within hundreds of miles are in the base, and the Army never lets anyone in without super high clearance. Sulfurized liquid rubber could be used to repair wounds in a germanium-based life form. If I had lab equipment, I could make you some. You'll need some rubber, of course, and a liquefying agent. Some form of distilled corn-based ethyl should do the trick, and of course the sulfur. Zeke is the greatest! He knows everything about engines. He said he'd help me build a submarine engine, and we can put in at Lake Mead. Wouldn't that be keen? The only thing about Zeke is, what the heck does he see in you? Yeah. I'm gonna be a spaceman when I grow up. I figure if I learn everything in the whole world, I'll be such a valuable crew member that every rocket captain will want me.
Hope for exploring space in this century were dashed as scientists experienced another failure in their attempt to launch a rocket.
Darn weather, it looked like a perfect night for studying the occultation of Saturn and the Horsehead Nebula, and then suddenly it clouded over. Darn. Hope I got here quickly enough to prevent major flooding from the mountain. Darn weather, it looked like a
How? Welcome to ancient lands of my revered ancestors. No playing bingo tonight. Big Chief angry at white leaders for taking too much of our wampum. Heap big 'em storm before. Weather gods angry. Best to buy trinkets to appease them. Alien man here earlier. Ugh. Ugly. No trust it. We trusted white man. Look where it got us. Trust white man and soon red man is living in reservation and begging for right. Trust alien man and soon red man is taking orders from giant brain which controls lightning. Takes over whole world. No way, Jose. Say, I'd kill for a smoke. Got a cigarette? Reservation closed to white man until mosquito demands met him. We want him right to run bingo games every day, including Sunday. Also, God's angry about heap big bingo tax. You tell him white leaders they speak with forked tongue. Hey, did you hear? Washington a perfect game for the Yankees.
Hey, look. I only deal with my regulars. I'm a respectable girl. I don't do just anybody. And I especially don't do babes. Now scram before I call the sheriff. He's one of our best customers, and he doesn't like to see us disturbed.
A wonderful good evening to you, Lydia. Funny you should happen to walk in. I was just looking at this pretty little 54 Shetland and thinking how much prettier it'd look with Miss Sandler sitting behind the wheel. I'm willing to let it go for only 700 and change. Aliens. Boy, they'll flood the market with cheap imports. Let me tell you what I've heard, and it's the truth, since I don't have a dishonest bone in my body. These aliens have themselves this robot, and it absorbs energy and just keeps going. And pretty soon, the used auto market will be shot to hell. Greetings, ma'am. Hot enough for you? Oops, I'm on duty. Not supposed to fraternize. Sorry, ma'am. If any aliens try screwing around with the US of A, they'll get a barrel full more than they bargained for. Speaking of outer space, I hear that our guys have already been to the moon. And they found a place filled with babes. Beautiful babes with headlights like... well, excuse me, ma'am. Anyway, I'm sure they're not half as beautiful as you, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know what came over me, but I'm on duty. And that would be a code 47J/8 not violation. Not that you're not worth being court-martialed for, ma'am.
Hi, Lydia. Haven't seen you around in a while. Let's get together for dinner soon. I was just on my way to take a look at where that meteor landed. Well, I've got a few errands in town. Why don't you check out the meteor and then meet me at the diner?
See you in a little bit.
My pop built it in the late 30s, back when the town was still Coyote Gulch. He was a crazy old coot from Upper Sandusky, Ohio. Till his dying day, he claimed he'd been kidnapped by babes from Mars. You know me about as well as anybody, Lydia. I fix cars, I hunt rattlesnakes, I watch shooting stars, I drink bourbon.
Permission to pass, Sergeant.
He's such a nice guy, isn't he? You're so lucky he's interested in you. What's your secret? Oh, yeah! I forgot to mention it! This monster came in with all these tentacles waving around like an octopus! Yuck! Anyway, Bill gave it a couple of whacks with a tire iron, and it took off towards town! I've heard that monsters like that can just absorb people right into their bodies, and just keep getting bigger and bigger the more people they absorb. Gross, huh? I grew up in this little town in Idaho, Calhert Crossing. I moved here because I wanted to see the big city. I never expected that I'd have as much fun as I've had working here at the filling station. Hi, Lydia. You look mighty pretty today.
Looking for some tips on how to be a real woman, Took? Well, considering how Zeke's been looking at you lately, I'd say you don't need any good tips. I'd say you need a good minister. Ha, ha. Ha! One of those space monsters swarmed in here while you were gone, but I gave it a little lesson in using tire irons, and it left to practice on its own. You know, that reminds me of an article I just read in the National Defiler. Said they'd set off a few atom bombs in the wrong spot, and the Earth was starting a long spiral into the sun. Said things were gonna start getting real hot, real soon. I grew up in the big city, Warm Springs, Nevada. Moved here to get away from all those city jerks. It's worked. For the most part. Hiya, Lydia. I hope your pop got some good photos of that shooting star thing. I finally got that for a business hose out of the General's engine. but I still haven't been able to get that darn Beegis valve out. What a hunk that Zeke. Kinda makes you all melty all over, doesn't he? He sure goes all dreamy whenever you're around. You lucky little seductress. Did Flo or Doe tell you about the commotion before? One of those aliens showed up. It wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, even by Atom City standards. Anyway, Doe says it didn't like being patted with a tire iron. My sister says that space creatures look just like us and move right into our cities and marry us and infiltrate our culture, and that's how they take over. I was born and bred in Atom City, and I ain't ever leaving. You meet so many interesting people here. Evening, Lydia.
You must mean that thing that attacked me a while ago. I chased it away, but the boss is gonna kill me when he sees all these broken dishes. I didn't get a good look at it, but it tried to grab me with those vine-like things. So I think it was like this three-legged plant, and it was trying to blind me so it could eat me, you know? Lydia, how nice to see you. What's the matter? Did you break a fingernail trying to cook? Hi, Dad.
Hi, sweet. An alien visited me earlier this evening and engaged me in some form of greeting ceremony. It seems seriously injured and badly in need of nourishment. It was definitely a germanium-based life form, but what it ingests or uses to heal wounds is a mystery to me. I believe that creatures advanced enough to cross the vast gulf of interplanetary space must be morally advanced as well, and will surely be vanguards not of war but of peace. In fact, these beings may have come to Earth to warn us about the dangers of our unbridled nuclear weapons race. Oh, Lydia, don't fuss about me. I eat well, I get sufficient sleep, and I exercise as Doc Skelton prescribes. Let's talk about you instead. Shouldn't you be socializing more with young men of your own age? Zeke Zarman, for example. He seems like quite a decent chap. Well, Zeke certainly isn't the most learned man I've met, but if my daughter is going to fall in love, I'm thankful it's with a man who's decent, kind, and honest.
Hi, Jim. Howdy, sis. Guess what? Hi. Howdy, sis. And what's here? According to the French researchers Laplome and Vernier, a germanium-based life form could ingest only radioactive isotopes, and openings in its dermal layer could only be... Sulfurized liquid rubber could be used to repair wounds in a germanium-based life form. If I had lab equipment, I could make you some. You'll need some rubber, of course, and a liquefying agent, some form of distilled corn-based... Radioactive isotopes would be food to a germanium-based life